Hello and welcome to the Daily Forex Report for December 1st. We're looking at the US-Japanese yen pair first. This particular pair, we're looking for it to potentially go as high as 85.05, possibly as low as 82.93. Now, look for some, here we go. Look for some resistance to come along around the 84.50 mark, right about here. And look for some support down around the 83.35 mark. So right about here is where we should hit some support. Did create a swing trade setup. Real close to a swing trade setup. It actually, this low broke below it, so it would not qualify. Remember, for our swing trade, we want a lower low than the bar before it and after it, and have a higher high before and after it, and we look for the breakout. Okay, let's take a look at the Euro-USD pair. This pair moved to the upside, pulled back a little bit. We've seen that before. Still has a bias to the downside, although it's starting to move sideways. Look for this pair to potentially go as high as 1.3314, possibly as low as 1.2892. Look for some resistance around 1.3195, right about here. And look for some support around 1.2960, so around this area right here. Okay, let's take a look at the pound US dollar pair. This particular pair did create a swing trade opportunity, swing trade setup. You can see here, this is kind of textbook. The middle bar has a lower low than the bar before it and after it, as well as a lower high than the bar before it and after it. This pair overall biases to the downside. We are looking for it to potentially go as high as 157.43, possibly moving down to 154.71. Look for some resistance around 156.50, so right around this area, hitting some resistance. And look for some support around 155.25, so right about in this area we're going to look for some support. Okay, let's take a look at the US Swiss. This pair closed down, even though it broke the previous resistance that it had. You can see here, definitely looking for a buy above this for the continuation of the bias to the upside. Overall, this pair's been moving sideways for the past little bit. Look for it to potentially go as high as 1.0121, possibly as low as 0.9925. Look for some resistance right about here at the 1.0066 price, and look for some support around 0.9975 right about here. All right, well, that about wraps us up for that. We do have the Eurozone releasing their GDP for the third quarter at 5 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that it's going to hold at 0.4%. We also have the European Central Bank releasing their rate decision tomorrow at 7:45 a.m. Eastern Time. Consensus on that is that they're going to hold rates at 1.0%. You have to remember that when you have interest rate announcements that are strong, most likely we're going to have a zigzag type of effect. So keep that in mind as we go through the trades that we're about to go through. Realize that until that information is released, most likely we won't have strong moves to the upside or the downside. So definitely keep that in mind. Now, looking at the pound US dollar pair, we have a swing trade opportunity that's been set up over the past 3 sessions. We are looking for a break right here and looking to buy at that price, and looking for it to come right up here, which we have previous areas of support that would now be resistance for this trade. So you can see here we have potentially about 75 pips worth of movement that we're looking for. It went through this area fairly quick during that time. Matter of fact, if we drop down to the lower time frames, we can get a better view as to historically, did that go through that quick or did it go through it slow? You can see here on the hour time frame, it went through it fairly quick as far as the movement from this point down to this point. You can see that it did pull back twice, but we had some strong moves to the downside. So a lot of times you can expect similar price action if you get a break to the upside over the next couple of hours. Okay, now looking at the US Swiss. This pair also created a swing trade opportunity, and it is a little steeper on the trend line, as we can see here. But it does give us an opportunity to profit still. You do have to look a little bit further out to find your areas of previous support and resistance to identify a potential exit. I think we have a good opportunity to exit right around in this range, about 1.15656. So right around here, around that mark, we do. And let me zoom back in. And that's how you find good exits from previous areas of support and resistance. Right here, that's an area of resistance. We could see it hit that level again. You can see that we've seen that a couple times right here. And then over here we have resistance. The market closed near this level several times. So it's a good area to use for that. Let's see exactly what kind of pips we got, or potential pips that we have from this if it does break to the upside. We have a potential of about 93 pips. Now a good place to put a stop loss, and here's another little trick. You notice we have the low, the low, and the low, the high here, a high here, high here, and high here. So we have all this area that was resistance, and then we have this area that is support. Now it makes sense that that level is going to hold for support, so we can put our stop loss right under it, and at that point have a little bit better risk to reward. See exactly what that is. This one might be a 1-to-1. We have about a 90 pip move there and about a 90 pip move there. So this is a 1-to-1 trade for this particular trade. Well, I hope that helps, and until next time, this is Jason Fielder. Good trading.